kick it on the beat side. Nothing to worry about, you know, say everything right. Oh, you feel afraid, not even touch the deep side. It's safe to say, you finally find a real vibe. Come over here, so make we kick it on the beat side. Nothing to worry about, you know, say everything right. Oh, you feel afraid, not even touch the deep side. It's safe to say, you finally find a real vibe. Just know, say you're good with it. I just can't seem to get you off my mind. How'd I fall in love from just one night? Now I'm concentrating on you. Ooh, ooh. We've been texting all day. I'm tired of waiting. So let's do it all night. No expectations. Swear you got the best of me. You shot me down like Cupid. Damn, you stole my gangster. And I guess I'm foolish for you. I just wanna be loving on you. Kiss you while I'm touching on you. Alright, and just like that, yo, we got a special guest in the building, man. Special guest, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's good, man? It's your boy Arlen in the building. You already know with Frost, man.
Yeah, man. You
Vibing out here, Georgia.
Yeah, man.
You
Let
know,
them know
Florida
you in
boy.
Atlanta.
Florida boy in
Let 'em
ATL,
know.
you know.
And this cold ass weather
It's
right
cold
now. You
as
heard?
fuck, man.
Yeah, facts.
Cold as hell.
And I ain't gonna lie, we been supposed to link up for a minute, bro. It been
Yeah,
a minute,
it's
bro.
been months since
Yeah, facts.
Because I actually was coming out here before, and then when I came,
Yeah,
I wasn't
know you was
able
probably
to.
busy,
So, yeah. So,
Mhm.
we here
Facts.
now.
Facts.
You feel me?
Appreciate you for coming, bro. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
So tell them like where you from and all that.
Me, I'm originally from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. That's like, you know, a few minutes from Miami. You know, when people think of Florida, they only think of Miami.
Yeah.
Shout out to my Dade County folks,
Yeah,
but
facts.
you know, Broward is definitely present. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm from. I'm from the Broward area,
Okay.
and yeah, I've been rocking out in Florida for a while. It's just I travel a lot, you know, doing the music and the dance and shit. So yeah.
Okay, so tell us more about like your upbringing, like where you went to school, your parents and all that.
Oh, word. So growing up, I went to all performing arts schools.
Okay.
So out the gate, elementary school, I'm in the
Yeah.
band. You know, in middle school, I'm
Facts.
doing this, doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I was involving myself in different, you know, creative art
From a young
things
age.
from a young age, and then, but it actually started way back in when I was in like what pre-K or so, and I never forget. It was my graduation or something like that, end of the year graduation. I was in pre-K, and my teacher heard me sing, and my mom was like, "Well, let him sing for the graduation." So at the time, I think it was "I Believe I Can Fly." That was like the song of the year. Everybody was graduating to.
Yeah, facts.
So I sung that shit, and that kind of like opened up the can of worms because I just kept chasing after that.
Yeah.
So I started signing. My mom, she was signing me up for talent shows and different things like that over time. So growing up for me, I was always around the arts and music and dancing and stuff like that.
Okay.
But none of my parents, they don't sing and they don't do none of that shit. But they were like connoisseurs of it. Like my parents are like, their music taste is like through the fucking roof.
Facts.
So I was able to, you know, learn at an early age like this what the good shit is. You know what I'm saying? So growing up in my house too, like I'm the baby of the bunch. So I had me and my brother, we had to share a room when I was growing up. So I had to always be subject to whatever in the hell he was playing, because he had this big ass sound system and I got my little puny ass speakers, so he was blowing me out. You know, with his Lil Wayne and his Juvenile. So I was like, you know, even though I was forced to listen to it, I started over time appreciating it because my brother was a hip hop head. And then my sister was the one who was playing Vaughn and Mariah Carey and all that other stuff. You know, but my parents, they were the ones who introduced me mostly to the classics, you know, the Earth, Wind and Fire, the Cameo, LTD, and, you know what I'm saying, that type of stuff. Lauryn Hill and stuff. My mom was deep into everything, you know, my dad too. So, yeah, man.
So, how long would you say you've been taking music serious?
like in making music?
I started taking music serious back in high school. Around the time when I was in my performing arts program at Dillard High, I was in the music production program. So we were learning how to make beats. We were learning about music business and contracts and all that shit at like 15 and 16. Okay. So, you know, I started realizing the seriousness of it early. Okay. So I took advantage of that knowledge and was like, you know what, I want to really do this shit. Yeah. So I just, started really like, perfecting the craft and just really doing my thing. But I would say it was high school time, man. Definitely high school time when I was in that music program, for sure.
So we know, like, you're in Atlanta right now. You know, you're visiting. Where you feel like your music falls in place at? Out here. Since you're visiting, come on.
Out here in ATL?
Yeah.
Where do I think it fit?
Like, yeah. You feel like your music will best flow here in Atlanta or back home?
If you hear the newer shit that I'm working on, I feel like it'll sit more because I'm tapping into more of a traditional R&B sound now. Yes. I've officially stepped away from, not saying it's a problem because it works, but I'm just tired of sounding like everybody. I'm tired of using the same sounds. I'm tired of using the same look. Like I just wanted to switch the shit up. So my new shit probably will sit nice, But now I'm all over the place, man. I'm doing R&B. I'm doing house shit. I'm doing all type of shit. So, a lot of my recent releases have been a bit more versatile and more diverse. So, I've just been pushing the envelope a little more, trying some different shit.
I like it. I'm fucking with it for sure.
I gotta let you hear some of the new shit too.
Yeah,
give you an exclusive,
unreleased, you heard?
An exclusive listen,
Okay. So tell us, like, were there any obstacles during your music career you could speak on?
Yeah, it was a lot. What's crazy is during my journey, trying to get here, I was signed before I was, I was signed with Cool and Dre, and that was a great experience for me.
Oh man, that's family.
Right? Yeah, they were legends, man. Those are the legends, man. Those guys are still rocking, and I thank those guys a lot because they definitely opened my eyes to a lot of the shit I didn't know, and they definitely woke me up to like the real,
I got to meet him.
You know what I'm saying?
I got to meet him when I was like 22.
A word.
Yeah, and that was probably like the best experience for me, just sitting back and just watching
soaking
everything,
it up.
You know what I'm saying? And that's really just how I got around everything, bro. I was in the room around for a lot.
Yeah.
But,
that's dope.
Go ahead, smoke, bro. Go ahead.
Relax
up, man. Relax up, man.
I'm relaxed. I'm actually on an edible.
Okay.
I'm taking my time. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But
bro.
but yeah, like during that time period though, when I was signed, I'm an R&B guy.
Yeah.
I'm a singing ass nigga. And the environments that I always found myself in were mainly rap and hip hop, which was dope because I met a lot of connections. I learned a lot and progressed a lot. But I'll say my biggest struggle was always trying to find the balance in the rooms that I found myself in, because I always had to overprove myself because I wasn't the thing that they were doing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody rapping, they street shit, you know what I'm saying? Okay. And I come in with my sensual, soft ass for the ladies and singing to women and singing about heart and breaks and love and all this other shit. And so that stuff kind of wasn't always the focus for those guys. It was like every blue moon, this person need a hook or that person need a verse, or, but it wasn't like a consistency for me. So that was my biggest, hurdle initially, and then I found out over time, that R&B isn't the most favorable genre at the time. This was back 2012, 2013. R&B was like dwindling away. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like taken away, but like, damn, so this R&B shit really dead. But then over time, you got so many different artists just coming out the woodwork, switching that shit up. Bryson Tiller, Party Next Door, SZA, Her. You got all these different, shades and colors of it just started, popping out of the blue. And it just kind of revived my, inspiration. But it's still a struggle because, you know, we still trying to cut through because the market is very much hip hop still.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
facts.
saying? So
Facts.
that's been my biggest issue, is just trying to find the balance, because it's like, and not to go off of your question, but it's very much in the same topic.
Yeah.
We need to fucking separate the R&B and hip hop charts.
Facts.
Because I feel like your Summer Walkers and your Lucky Days and these guys, like those artists, they can be looked at as superstars if we had our own platform. But if we have to keep sharing the space with the rappers, we look like the B list, the C list. We look like the okay, like, you know what I'm saying? They doing all right. When we can be looked at as like the giants and the superstars of it all, if they found a way to separate the R&B and the hip hop shit. So that's been my biggest issue and struggle with it, only because that's like my genre and that's what I do.
You know, for me, like I'll say, people, it all comes to like a certain age too. Like
that's true.
When people start understanding like what's real music. You know what I'm saying? Because when I'm alone, I listen to R&B. You know, all old school R&B from 70s, 80s to now. You know what I'm saying? But you will mostly hear like 2000s, 90s R&B, because I know that's what I really want to hear. That's what really gives me peace. You know what I'm saying? And people want peaceful music.
Right.
You don't want to hear that rap all the time talking about killing, drugs, or whatever people want to rap about. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's conscious rap.
Right.
That's another thing too, that you could just be peaceful with that, like conscious rap. But
that's true.
Like you were saying, like well, for me, it's like all by the age group. Like you start realizing for real, like, okay, yeah, this is real music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
like for me, that's big for me right now. Like before, I was, you know, because when you get in the industry and do different things, like you want to get in there. You know what I'm saying? So you find yourself compromising and sacrificing in ways that you wouldn't normally do creatively. You start following the trends and doing different shit to get on. And then it's like, I took the time to fall back and really study like the giants, like the greats, like what was making them great. And none of them were doing shit that the next motherfucker did. That's what made them great. They were who they were. You know what I'm saying? They brought the pressure, you know, that they felt that the industry needed at the time they came out, you know, and whatever their inspiration was, you probably knew it. Like Michael, we knew James Brown was his inspiration. Beyonce, we know Tina Turner and this person that, like, you know it, but they take that shit to a whole nother place. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I love, individuality and just being yourself, man. We need to get back to that. You know, motherfuckers is artistically like just trying to be like the next nigga. Nobody want to really step out and say, I'm finna do some different shit on y'all niggas. Like, you know?
So with that, what's your creative process like when you making music?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
There's a method to my madness, I will say that.
Because, you know, certain people, like, I've been around artists, they light candles. They really just sit, burn some sage, get in the vibe. You know what I'm saying? They don't even smoke. Might drink some wine or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what's yours?
Mine is, for me, gotta have some good smokes. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to create with, you know, the herbs.
Yeah.
But, you know, I like to keep it in the room. And for me, another thing that I like is I like darkness.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I like moody colors, like greens, blues, reds. You know what I'm saying? Shit that's gonna keep you in the vibe.
Yeah.
I don't really like being in bright lights when I'm creating. You know, as long as the room kind of nice and dim, and it's a nice little smoke vibe, and I'm good. You know, like, cause me, I have different ways that I create. Like, cause sometimes I don't even like to create in the booth. I like to be outside the booth, holding the microphone and performing that bitch as I record. Yeah, like I've spoiled myself. Everything you've heard, like that whole Rhythm and Brow project, I recorded that shit, holding the mic, sitting down, doing my thing, like, or dancing around. Like,
oh, that's lit.
I don't like the mic on the stand, bro. I hate that shit.
Okay.
Like, I feel like I'm in the principal's office. Like, oh, shit. Stand there and sing, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta be like, feel like I'm performing for you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's how my process is.
You probably the first artist, like, I heard that does that.
Bro, if you see me in action, you'll be on the floor, like, you'll be floored, bro. Like, it's a whole performance in there. It's just, I don't have any, like, I told myself this next year I'm gonna start, setting up little cameras so I can capture that.
Yeah.
Because no one's ever saw that but my collaborators. Yeah. The only people who I collaborate with have seen me in that, element. So I kind of want to start putting that out there so people can see, like, this how the action happens,
Okay, so how would you define your sound?
Sensual and aggressive at the same time. Okay. Like passion. I'll say passion and aggression.
Okay, explain why.
Because I always like to hit the soft spots, such as, like, the topics or the emotional things or sex, But then I also am a dancer and performer, so I like to be in your face. I like that shit to knock on you. So for me, I'm always gonna have, the heavy bottom end with the bass and the drums and stuff like that. So a lot of my sound is it always gonna have some softness to it that complements the R&B side, the sensual, passionate side, but then it's gonna have that knock to it that really complements the aggression.
Okay.
So. Yeah.
So tell us more about some of the music that you put out.
Well, before Rhythm and Broward, I put out a EP called Stay Home during quarantine time.
Okay.
Me and my homie Too Much. Shout out to Too Much, man. That's my right hand in the studio. But I put out a R&B project called Stay Home. Then I put out Rhythm and Broward, and I put out a few singles this summer where I drifted off. It was so crazy because after I dropped Rhythm and Broward, it was actually a mixtape that involved me collaborating with all of the different dope artists and rappers who out in Broward, who I felt like, either was doing their thing and got it popping, or climbing the ladder, or, grinding it out. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to work with motherfuckers who I know that was super dope in the city and doing their thing. So I just started, it started out with like 4 or 5 records, and then over time it just turned into a project, and I just, put it all together. Okay. And then over time I just was promoting that and pushing that and doing different stuff. And then I had got this creative like slump. Like, I just was over it. I was like, fuck this shit, I'm over it. And then back in April I started making house music.
Okay.
And then it's like, here 2 months later, Drake releases that shit. So it was like the universe was telling me, like, you're on the right track. You know what I'm saying? Because, bro, I have the proof to show. From April up until when I made those songs, all the way up until Drake and Beyonce started doing their thing. Me, my manager, my brother, everybody who I confide in musically, we all like, what the fuck we finna do with this house music you done made? Like, nigga, you done made a whole house EP. What we finna do with these songs? Yeah. Like, what are we gonna do? You don't have nothing out that sounds like this. Like, I'm like, I don't know no house DJ. I don't know nothing. Like, I don't know what the fuck we finna do. And then once Drake put it out, and Beyonce put it out, I still was puzzled because I'm like, okay, now everybody's gonna think you're just copying the next person. So I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and take advantage of, it being a transition for me rather than me copying or trying to keep up with the trend or the flow. Yeah. So that's why I took the initiative to do a photo shoot that kind of stepped outside of, what you would normally see an R&B nigga do. Because I'm like, well, shit, I'm finna hit y'all with some crazy ass music. I might as well come with a crazy ass look. So that's why I pushed the envelope and said, I'm finna start doing what they can't and won't do. Right. So that's where that came from. And just over time, I just was rocking out with that. But those are the releases that I've released so far this year, is that project. And then this summer, I dropped the house vibes. So,
thanks.
Hit them with a little different shit,
Okay. So, out of all your projects and singles, what would you say is your favorite and why?
Oh, man. Right now, I'll say my favorite. That's so unfair to ask me. Damn.
Yeah, I know I'm hitting you with them, man.
The only reason why I'll say the house shit is because it unlocked where I am now, creatively as well. Like where I'm about to go, that zone unlocked it. Even though I'm not doing house music no more, you know what I'm saying? So that's all. That house shit really like, and I'll say specifically the song "Foolish."
Okay.
That one.
Yeah.
That one really like it. Just I don't give a damn what year it dropped. It just got a feeling to it. And so that one to me is my favorite. That like, out of all of the music I've dropped this year, that's probably the one song that I have of my own that's in my daily playlist.
Okay. Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so who are some of like the engineers or producers you working with?
I'm my own engineer. I record everything by myself. Everything you hear me record or sing on, I do it. It's very fucking rare that you'll hear another engineer recording me. Only because I went to school for music production and audio engineering, so I mastered my sound. Yeah, so it's a lot harder for me now to relinquish, that.
Yeah.
But as far as producers, I'm working with my homie Too Much.
Yeah.
I'm working with my homie Creole Kid. I'm working with my homies Rod and Twinkie. I'm working with my homie Vinyl Beats. And who else I've been working with? Hope I don't forget nobody. My homie Bowie and the Wise Men. Oh man, I'm working with so many different people for so many different reasons too. You know what I'm saying? My homie Neary, I'm working with Neary. I'm working with a lot of different people. Only because my hands is in so many different things. I'm writing for other artists and doing shit for myself too. So I'm collaborating with all type of motherfuckers. But for my music though, my homies who I mentioned though, for sure.
Okay. So let's speak on like collabs or future collabs you plan on doing. You could tell us?
Yeah. I got this. I don't know if you know David Lynn from Miami. He's a dope R&B and dance hall artist. Out in Miami. Me and him about to go crazy with this record. We got this vibe we've been sitting on for a little minute. So I plan on putting that out soon. And I also will be doing a lot of shit with Nia Amber. That's my homegirl out of Miami.
Shout out Nia Amber.
Yeah, shout out Nia Amber. She got a lot of big shit coming up, man, and I'm a part of all of that. So that's like family. That's my sister. So
yeah, when you come to Atlanta, man, you gotta.
Yeah. We gotta get you to get in on a little sit down with my boy Frost. But yeah, she's super talented. But those are my two collaborations that I have going on. I haven't really, honestly and truthfully, I've been diving so deep into this R&B shit. Yeah. And I've been self-containing myself only because I want to stay away from the trends and stuff. So I haven't been doing much collaborating with different artists only because, unless I'm working with them for their shit, only because I'm trying to craft and create a new sound. Okay. You know?
So I'm going to throw a curveball at you.
What's that?
So name your best 3 collabs you've done. Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to that nigga Sway, man. I got a record called Damn Good. With featuring my homie Sway, by the way. Okay. Sway from the way, man. Yo, that record is so special. Now, I'll say me and Holly Supreme, Put It On Me. Okay. That record real special too. I really say that was the one. Okay. And by the way too, Rhythm and Broward Anniversary Deluxe, all that's coming next month, by the way. Facts. So
talk about it, bro.
Giving you the exclusive. I wasn't finna tell nobody that, but it's happening.
Only on here, man.
It's happening. But damn, one more. Shit. This is my manager calling me right now. He gotta wait. Shit. You got me.
I got you.
Okay, I'm gonna name a third and an honorable mention.
Okay.
That's cool?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. For the third one, I would say Me and Deuce Moncrief. We got a record on that Rhythm in Broward. It's literally just me, him, and the guitar. It's no other sounds. It's just the guitar, him rapping, and me singing.
Okay.
My honorable mention is gonna be me and my homie Big Vin. We got a record called All In on there too. That's another one that's crazy. But I mean, this is so fucking unfair because I like the record with me and Smook the Madman. I like the record with me and Meek. I like the record with me and Nova and Willie. Like it's so many different dope vibes on there. So I'm still, torn.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna regret. I'm like, damn, I should have said, damn. But everything is dope, man. So yeah. So you got me.
So we know you said the deluxe is dropping,
Right.
But is there any other future projects you have dropping after that?
Yeah. So the only reason why I'm gonna be pushing the anniversary and deluxe vibe is because I'm about to go into this R&B vibe.
Okay.
So my next project, honestly, is gonna be the R&B vibe with the traditional R&B music. It's just I'm doing the anniversary and the Rhythm and Broward shit, just to keep that momentum going and reviving that, because that's a dope project that I feel like needs more attention.
Okay. Yeah, it
but
definitely
next,
does. It
yeah,
definitely
it's fire.
It definitely does.
But by next release after that is going to be something a bit more traditional. It's going to be a bit controversial.
Yeah.
I think this time I'm going to really show who I am as an artist, who I feel like I've always been, but haven't given myself the permission to be.
Okay,
Only because I was spending so much time trying to keep up with this and keep up with that, and it's like, fuck that. We finna hit them with some shit these motherfuckers don't. I want you to be scratching your head like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Facts,
but you still at the back end like, but that shit was kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with it now, with everything. And so that's my next project, is just, dropping some R&B shit that these motherfuckers can't and won't do.
Facts. So who would you say is your biggest critic of your music?
My mom.
You let her hear everything first as soon as you finish recording it?
Nope.
Oh.
Yo, she hear it when it come out.
Oh, okay.
Cause she like with the music of today and just motherfuckers just aren't educated. But the reason why people use the auto tune and the different effects and shit is because the music we're singing and rapping over now is digital.
Yeah.
Everything is computer based, and computer based music is perfectly pitched.
Yeah. Facts.
So as me, my human tone doesn't always match with the computer's, perfectly pitched tone. That's why the music back in the day, they didn't have to use that, because those instruments and shit, the frequencies were totally different. It wasn't digital.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So because I do a lot more digital recording and stuff like that, I put certain effects and shit on my voice, even though I can still sing and shit. Yeah. But my mom, she take all that effects off your voice. She's old school. They old head. They don't want to hear that shit. But I love my mama to death, man. She's one of my biggest supporters. My parents, my family, my immediate family. My brother, my sister. But when I make my music, the first motherfucker I send it to is my brother or my sister. They're like the first two ears. They hear everything I do first. Because my sister is an R&B head. That's all she listens to. She listens to the rap shit, of course, but she's a connoisseur of it. That's why I be sending to her
tell me what's up.
Don't be fronting now. Is this that vibe or what? So her and my brother is who I go to for that type of shit.
Okay. So would you say those are your biggest inspiration that keep you going? Your family?
Now it is.
Okay.
Now I'm seeing what it can do for my family as a whole. The success of it all.
Yeah.
Just from the little minor success that I've had.
Yeah.
So now my goal now is just foundation for me and my family now. That's what's important for me now. Because before it was all about, I want to be rich, I want to be this, I want to be all these, superficial fake ass things, and it's like,
bro.
Now I'm ready to really like have something that's like solid.
Yeah.
That once I start producing my own, kids and shit, I got something to leave behind. You know what I'm saying? Something that my grandparents weren't able to do only because of their shortcomings or their struggles and shit.
Yeah.
So that's what's important for me. It's just like giving my family a new experience with life. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more than just what we've seen.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I respect that.
Yeah.
Cause a lot of artists try to live up to be like, if I'm not here by this certain time, like I didn't do enough or I didn't make it.
Man, 2 Chainz came out at 36.
Thank you,
Lucky
bro.
Day's first major, release, he was 34,
bro,
35. So
people, they gotta understand too. Like even if that, as long as whatever you doing, like say you writing music for artists, you might not be. Now I'm not saying you, but whoever who's writing music for artists might not be the biggest artist in the world eventually. You know what I'm saying? But look, you got to think back at it. You making a paycheck. You're sitting back still doing music, something you love, and you could take care of your family, and you don't have to work a 9 to 5 for somebody else. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So certain people have to really sit there and realize that part. And once they realize that, you're really winning because you're doing what you want in life.